Once upon a time, American Airlines was known to have one of the best short-haul economy class cabins in the United States, which were especially notable for their presence of seat-back entertainment screens. Unfortunately, this cabin was only offered on select narrow-body airplanes, namely American's newer Boeing 737-800s, Airbus A319s, and A321s. In order to maintain commonality across its entire narrow-body fleet, American Airlines introduced a brand new cabin type with the delivery of its first Boeing 737 MAX in 2017. This new cabin was called Oasis and was a clear downgrade from the previous configuration. It got rid of the seatback screens and also added in more seats, resulting in less legroom and smaller bathrooms. Long story short, various complaints regarding the Oasis first class seats prompted the airline to make some changes. After fixing the first class issues and leaving everything else the same, American Airlines finally rolled out the new and improved Kodiak cabin in early 2020. As of now, virtually the entire American Airlines narrow-body fleet has been retrofitted with Kodiak, with the only exceptions being the transcontinental A321s and Sharklet A319s. I was able to experience the original Oasis economy cabin in 2020 on a short 90-minute flight from Miami to Charlotte. Today, I'm giving the new and improved Kodiak economy cabin the ultimate test on a 4-hour trek across the United States from Chicago, Illinois to San Diego, California. Stick around till the end of the video to hear my honest opinion on this controversial product. With that being said, I invite you to please sit back, relax, and enjoy this journey to the West Coast. We pick up today's journey at O'Hare Airport's Terminal 3, the home of American Airlines in Chicago. I'm starting this video a little later than normal as I make my way to the gate, and that's because the entire process of getting to the airport and through security was the most stressful start to any trip I've ever experienced in my over 15 years of flying from this airport. For starters, almost every single parking lot in the area was filled up, from the new multimodal facility to all of the independent parking companies on Mannheim Road. In the end, my family and I had to resort to the parking garages located in front of the terminals here at O'Hare. While the location is very convenient, this is the most expensive location to park your car at this airport. That entire process wasted a full hour, and then security check on top of that was another 25 minutes. Now, I understand it's spring break and everyone wants to travel, but the point I'm trying to get across here is that I've never seen O'Hare this busy. I was so close to actually canceling this flight because I wasn't sure if we'd make it, but thankfully we reached the gate with 20 minutes to spare before boarding. American's Boeing 737 Kodiak cabin features 172 seats, consisting of 16 in first class, 30 in main cabin extra, and 126 in main cabin. Today I'll be seated in 19A, which is normally classified as a preferred seat in economy because it's closer to the front of the airplane. You'd normally have to pay about $10 to $20 extra to reserve one of these preferred seats. However, thanks to my Oneworld Ruby status, I'm able to select this seat for free. These Kodiak seats are very thin, so the amount of padding isn't great, but at least they're not rock solid hard. The seats also come with adjustable headrests, which do the job just fine. When looking at the seat back, at the top we have the literature pocket, which consists of the safety card, in-flight information pamphlet, and air sickness bag. One of the most notable features of the Kodiak seat is the personal device holder, on which you can place your mobile device to watch shows on, but more on that later. The seat also features a USB port in case your device runs low on battery. Of course, the seat also comes with a tray table, and it's nice to see that it can be extended towards you. Below that is the seat pocket where you can store personal belongings, followed by a universal power outlet at every seat. The Kodiak retrofit resulted in 12 extra seats being crammed into the 737 cabin, thereby decreasing legroom from 31 to 30 inches. I'm roughly 6 feet tall and didn't find this horrible, but at times it definitely felt a bit tight, especially when the person in front reclined. Finally, above each seat is the passenger service unit, which houses the personal air vents, reading lights, and call buttons. Shortly after sitting down, I couldn't help but notice just how dirty the cabin was. The window had all sorts of marks on it, the side panels were filthy, and the seatback was noticeably unclean as well. To make matters worse, sanitizing towelettes were not provided upon boarding, so there was no way to clean the seat myself. Now listen, I hate complaining about these things and I wish I didn't have to, but I simply can't overlook things like this, especially when you have airlines like American who heavily advertise their deep cleaning procedures.
Welcome back to Travel with American Airlines. We're glad you're here. This flight is on its way to one of our many destinations across the globe, made possible by our dedicated team members who all do it for one reason: you. That's why your safety and well-being are so important to us. Against the law to tamper with, disable, or destroy the lavatory smoke detectors. Doing so may result in a fine. The safety card in your seat pocket explains the safety features of this airplane, including the location and operation of exits and flotation devices. But of course, don't hesitate to ask our crew members questions. This airplane has 2 exit doors in the front, 4 window exits. Life vests are located under, next to, or between your seat. For help locating them, see your safety card. To remove the vest, pull the tab or compartment handle to break the seal. If equipped with an elastic harness, remove the harness before opening the pouch. Take the vest out as shown on the safety card and put it over your head. Wrap the strap around your waist, attach the buckle, and pull tight.
After retiring their in-flight magazine last year, American Airlines replaced it with this pamphlet. The pamphlet heavily advertises the personal device entertainment, more specifically what type of content is offered and how you can connect to it. It also has a small menu of the complimentary beverages and snacks offered on the flight. Free Wi-Fi is available on all American Airlines mainline aircraft. However, internet access is available for purchase and the price varies per flight. On this 4-hour flight, the full flight pass was $25, which I thought was highway robbery. For a flight of this length, I think the cost should be somewhere between $8 to $12, but let me know what you think about that. Aside from the ridiculously priced flight passes, the Wi-Fi website allows you to stream entertainment for free, and there's a really excellent list of shows available, which also includes some live TV channels. The Wi-Fi website also lets you check the local weather at your destination. Even though I much rather prefer seatback entertainment screens, I can't lie in saying that the personal device holders are a very clever design. In fact, many airlines around the world have adopted this design in recent years. The device holder can fit virtually all mobile devices, which includes cell phones and iPads. Although when you place your device on the holder, it doesn't sit up straight. In fact, it sits at a slight angle which looks weird at first, but in reality, it's not too horrible when watching shows. There was only one snack service offered on this 4-hour flight, consisting of Biscoff cookies and choice of drink. Flight attendants continuously came around the cabin throughout the flight offering water, but in all honesty, I don't think this is a very adequate offering, especially given how long the flight is. The rest of the flight was uneventful. I was able to watch 2 movies which made time go by pretty fast, and soon enough, we were descending into San Diego. This was my first time back on the West Coast in 9 years, and my first time back in San Diego in almost 13 years. So needless to say, I was pretty excited to land. Our approach brought us over the Salton Sea and Cuyamaca Rancho State Park. We then made a slight right turn before coming in past downtown San Diego and landing on runway 27. San Diego is known for having one of the best approaches in the United States, so whenever you fly here, be sure to sit on the left side of the aircraft for some absolutely incredible views. After spending 4 hours in American Airlines' new Kodiak cabin, here's my final verdict on the product. The downsides to the Kodiak seat are that it has noticeably less padding and legroom. In my opinion, the seat is bearable for short flights of 2 hours or less, but on flights of longer length, it starts to get pretty annoying. I like how each seat has USB and power outlets, and personal device entertainment, when you get used to how it works, is a really good source of entertainment. Now, the real complaints I had about today's flight was the soft product, more specifically the aircraft cleanliness and the refreshment offering. The aircraft upon boarding, as you saw, was noticeably dirty, and I see no excuse for why this was allowed to happen. Furthermore, the catering for a 4-hour flight compared to flights of similar length elsewhere in the world was very lackluster, but that's expected of US carriers. While the cleanliness aspect can definitely be improved, the sad reality of flying domestic economy in the US is that the catering will never be improved. Let me know what you thought about the flight in the comments below, but otherwise, here's our arrival at Gate 27. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a like and subscribe if you're new to my channel. I'd be in San Diego for about 3 days before flying back to Chicago with United Airlines, and that video will be coming out soon. With that being said, thanks again, take care everyone, and see you next time.